Because sometimes the scariest monsters aren't even in movies, they're real. This is the most chilling, real-life horror stories ever told. Horror movies, they thrive on imagination, masked killers, haunted houses, and things that go bump in the night. But every so often, reality writes a story so disturbing that no screenwriter could top it. These are real-life horrors that inspired nightmares, movies, and legends. Stories of madness, mystery, and evil that prove the darkness of the human mind is far more terrifying than anything supernatural. Here we go. First, Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield. Few names have cast a longer shadow over horror than Ed Gein. In 1957, police in Plainfield, Wisconsin, entered his farmhouse and uncovered a scene straight out of a nightmare. Furniture made from human skin, bowls crafted from skulls, and a woman's face turned into a mask. Gein confessed to exhuming corpses from local graveyards and murdering 2 women in a twisted attempt to recreate his late mother. His crimes became the inspiration for Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Silence of the Lambs. He didn't just inspire horror, he became it. Second, the Hinterkaifeck murders. Pardon me if I mispronounced that. I'm not usually saying Hinterkaifeck in these videos. Germany's unsolved nightmare. In 1922, a family of 6 was brutally murdered on their remote Bavarian farm. Days before the massacre, the farmer told neighbors he'd found footprints leading to his house, but none leading back. Strange noises from the attic, tools vanished. Then one night, the entire Gruber family and their maid were killed with a pickaxe. The killer stayed for days, feeding livestock and eating meals in the kitchen. To this day, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain unsolved, an open wound in Germany's criminal history and a haunting tale of isolation, paranoia, and evil. Okay, next, the third, the Dyatlov Pass Incident, Mystery in the Mountains. Again, I don't usually use Dyatlov in my videos, so I apologize if my pronunciation sucks. But in 1959, 9 experienced hikers set out into Russia's Ural Mountains. Okay, and never came back. Rescuers later found their tent ripped open from the inside. The hikers fled barefoot into the snow. Some had crushed ribs, fractured skulls, and even missing their eyes and tongues. Theories range from a Soviet weapons test to a Yeti attack. But the truth remains buried beneath snow and secrecy. The official explanation, a compelling natural force. Few phrases have ever been more haunting. They were murdered by a compelling natural force. Okay, fourth on the list is Villisca Axe Murders, Terror in Small Town America. June 10, 1912, Villisca, Iowa. An entire family of 6, plus 2 overnight guests, were found murdered in their beds, each killed with the blunt end of an axe. Windows were covered, mirrors draped with cloth, and a bowl of uneaten food sat on the table. No one was ever convicted. The house is now a paranormal hotspot where visitors report cold touches, whispers, and doors slamming shut. Whether haunted or not, the Villisca house remains one of America's most disturbing crime scenes. And fifth on the list, the exorcism of Annalise Michel, Faith or madness. In the 1970s, a young German woman named Anneliese Michel began suffering violent convulsions and claiming she was possessed by demons. After months of failed medical treatment, her family turned to priests who performed 67 exorcisms over 10 months. Did you hear me? 67 exorcisms. When Anneliese died of starvation and exhaustion, the case became one of the most controversial in modern history. They performed 67 exorcisms over 10 months on this girl. Her story inspired the exorcism of Emily Rose, but the real tragedy remains tangled between faith, mental illness, and human desperation. Okay, sixth on the list, it was only a matter of time, The Watcher, the letter that drove a family out. In 2014, a New Jersey family moved into their dream home, only to start receiving anonymous letters signed The Watcher. The writer claimed to be the home's guardian, saying, "I am tasked with watching over the house. Do you know what's hidden in its walls?" Holy moly, the family fled in terror, never moving in. Police never caught the sender, and Netflix later adapted the story, but the true identity of the Watcher remains one of America's creepiest modern mysteries. Number 7. The Dybbuk box. Dybbuk, I'm not sure, but it's a cursed object on eBay. It began as an online auction listing. Simple enough, a wine cabinet supposedly haunted by a Dybbuk, whatever, a malicious spirit from Jewish folklore. Every owner reported bizarre experiences, nightmares, shadows, faint voices, and of course, misfortune. The story inspired the horror movie The Possession, and of course has since become an internet legend. To this day, the box's current location and the truth behind its curse remain disputed. So, what are our final thoughts other than I can't pronounce hard names? Well, true horror isn't about jump scares or monsters. It's about the unknown. The things we can't explain, the evil we can't understand, and the tragedies that leave questions long after the bodies are buried. These stories prove that the darkest tales aren't found in haunted houses or Hollywood scripts. They're found in us. Oh my gosh, how creepy was that? That was creepy at the end right there, huh? That gave you a little heebie-jeebies? Okay, so thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you check out our other videos on the channel. We have a lot of spooky stuff for this month since it's Halloween month. Thanks for watching, guys.